It took all of one comment to get me to make a part 2 to Xena and Gabrielle's Gayest moments. There are just so many juicy moments to pick from. I included what is probably my favourite moment of the entire show at the very end. If anyone wants a part 3, well, let's just say it wouldn't take much to convince me.
I almost got you that time.
No, you didn't.
What are you talking about? I was this close.
You were this close because I let you get this close.
Much like When Fates Collide, which made it onto part 1, this is one of where it's hard to pick a single moment. This episode is rightly beloved by the Woman Love Woman community. It's dripping with the kind of subtext that got the queer ladies talking in the first place. It's domestic fluff with a great wallop of gay subtext, starting with
Xena, this was our only frying pan. Why do you do that? You do have weapons, don't you?
I like to be creative in a fight. It gets my juices going.
Can we cook with your juices?
Then there's this rather telling moment.
Does Xena ever think about settling down and getting married?
No, she likes what I do.
And of course, the bathtub scene.
Are you sitting on the soap?
I was wondering what that was.
It's also peppered with the bickering married vibes, Gabrielle's hand on Xena's breastplate, and, at the end of a hard day, them lying on a blanket together and stargazing. Yep, married vibes for sure. Although I do have a theory on when they get together, and I may just make a vid on that in the future, so I don't know, stay tuned. Then there is fan favourite Minya, who seems to be crushing on Xena.
You're Xena, aren't you?
Yes.
You are the main thing, the real deal, you know, the #1 attraction.
And total spoiler,
Thank you. I never would have met Paulina if it wasn't for you. In fact, the two of you made me realize something deep down about myself that I guess I always knew, but just didn't dare admit. I'm a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy when I was a kid here because I was loved and I felt like I belonged. I was lucky then and I'm lucky now.
Another episode that leans into the domestic fluff vibe was the Old Aries Had a Farm episode, which gives us a glimpse into what it might have looked like if Xena and Gabrielle had settled down somewhere. While for sure it was a throuple situation with Aries in the picture, I think even he knew he stood no chance with Xena, especially with this moment when Gabrielle helps Xena into her armor.
Suck it in.
It just screams married wives, because you know that Gabs has helped her woman get dressed a lot, and undressed too, naturally. I'm just saying she has an intimate knowledge of Xena's clothes. Also, look at how they're looking at each other here.
Send me there.
I'm not sure that's wise.
This karma that you're talking about, can you see mine? Can you see how much Xena's a part of that?
Yes. In many lives, past and future.
You know what she said? She said that your karma and mine, they're intertwined.
Xena is the only person for Gabrielle, as we find out later in the show. When they are both looking for their paths in life in season 4, they head to India on a spiritual quest. What they find is that the shamaness Ulti is trying to mess with one of their future lives, so they're off to defeat her. What emerges from this encounter is that Gabrielle and Xena are destined to be together again and again, karmically linked. Is that gay? Or is it gay? Maybe they're not always in female bodies in each incarnation, but they are the literal incarnation of this story that Gabrielle spoke of in season 1.
Once a long, long time ago, all people had 4 legs and 2 heads. And then the gods threw down thunderbolts and split everyone into 2. Each half then had 2 legs and 1 head. But the separation left both sides with a desperate yearning to be reunited. Because they each shared the same soul. And ever since then, all people spend their lives searching for the other half of their soul.
Maybe she just needs air.
Come on, breathe!
Come on. Wake up and breathe.
You never ran from anything in your whole life.
Don't you leave me! Don't leave me! Don't leave me! Wake up!
It for sure was a pivotal moment in the Xena and Gabrielle relationship. With this episode, we get to see just how much Gabrielle has come to mean to Xena. I don't think even Xena realized how deeply she felt for her until this moment. It marked something of a transition for the character of Gabrielle. In that first season, she was framed as young and sometimes referenced as being that annoying blonde following Xena around. She was often the comic relief, but here she became someone with far more weight. She became someone Xena couldn't do without. Leading up to that moment at the end of season 1, Gabrielle had been giving off some baby gay vibes for sure.
I won't stay home. I don't belong there, Xena. I'm not the little girl that my parents wanted me to be.
That alone is a sentiment that the queer community often connects with, as well as the desire to leave behind the restrictive communities we've grown up in that often don't accept us. Gabrielle then becomes positively starstruck at the, I assume, first non-conventional woman to come along because she's different. When you add it to moments like,
It's not like your breasts aren't dangerous enough.
and
By the gods.
What is it?
You are beautiful.
it sure feels like a wee queer narrative is expressing itself here. Also, I'm very curious to understand what this moment means. Because, it's suggestive, especially when combined with the activity of catching fish, which, euphemism.
Come on, Gabrielle, let's get wet!
Speaking of fish, in the episode Fin, Femmes and Gems, there are a few fishy references. You know the writers were having so much fun with the fish references.
You stick your hand under the water and you feel around till you find a great big succulent fish, and then you do this. You wiggle your fingers.
Why would I want to do that?
Because it's fun.
Right.
Well, don't knock it till you've tried it.
To fist a fish? I can barely say it, much less do it.
But that is not the gay moment that stands out for me in this episode. Rather, it's this.
I looked into your eyes, and Xena, I finally realized there can only be one person for me in my life. Me.
Even through Xena's obsessive fishing-induced haze, she still loves Gabrielle so much that this declaration has her looking positively crestfallen that Gabrielle doesn't say that Xena is the only person for her. Because Xena really is the only one for Gabrielle. After much spiritual seeking, after trying the way of peace that saw her put down her weapon and dedicate herself to pacifism, she is forced to choose between that and her relationship with Xena, because unsurprisingly, being a pacifist while traveling with Xena is kind of hard. Xena likes to fight, and she's a warrior, an incredible warrior, and it's through her work as a warrior that she's looking to redeem herself from her dark past. When Gabrielle sees Xena crippled by a blow to her lower back, the decision is instantaneous. The way of peace is nothing if she is not by Xena's side.
I made you leave the way of love. I had a choice. To do nothing or save my friend. I chose the way of friendship. I'm sorry for all the times I didn't treat you right. You brought out the best in me. Before I met you, no one saw me for who I was. I felt invisible. But you saw all the things that I could be. You saved me, Xena.
With Xena lying unable to move her legs, held in Gabrielle's arms with a look of such vulnerability and openness, this quiet exchange between the two is probably my favourite moment of the entire series. Let me know of what other really gay moments you can think of in the comments, and it might just make it into a part 3. Who knows? If you like this type of content, like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. Until next time, lady lovers.